If it is music you're doing, you serve music. If you whatever painting, you just serve that art, and the self shouldn't be the center.
Hello and welcome to What Do You Want to Talk About? My name's Ben, this is Wayne Snow.
Hi.
What do you want to talk about?
Emotions.
That's a big topic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotions.
Yes.
I certainly have a lot. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very emotional on stage in general. And I generally, whether I'm in the studio or anytime, I always allow myself to feel things. And then the project itself, Wayne Snow, is like this dome where I allow myself to be vulnerable as much as I could, you know. And that's the idea of my new project.
In terms of creating that space to even begin to tap into that, you're sort of talking about the studio and then the stage, but it's more than that, isn't it?
Music, in a sense, the style keeps changing. There's always new instruments or new way of, dancing to whatever. Though you have all these changes, we still have the same shit to deal with, which is our emotion. And that will never change. So my wish with this album and also live was to be able to show the people that there is all these things that are running through us, and then finding moments where you can feel free to like share them with others and see how they connect with you. And it's always rewarding.
What does it mean for you? What does it take from you to be able to do that?
So there's one thing I understood back in the days in Berlin at Berghain. So Berghain is this legendary club in Berlin, and it's very special because I got kicked out many times before get in, because it's like I had to adjust myself to it. And it's funny, you get in by hating people. So the face I had there was like I was very angry. I was like, don't talk to me. And I kind of noticed something when I got in. I saw, how would you say it, sick people. And so what I realized there, I just saw like people that had issues. They were all dancing to this machine, boom, 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 boom. And then you look at someone, you just pass and you're like, hey, hi, and you hug the person and it's like, oh, okay. And then you hug another person. And that's all I saw, like sick people, but happy to be there and happy to release this whole energy. This experience really gave me elements to add to my music. And these are pulsation, like when you have this rhythm sometimes pump, it's exactly what I felt in Berlin, that there's this rhythm that makes you like, okay, you had like a shitty life, or you have like, issues with yourself and this on, but it doesn't matter, you're still going to dance and keep on going. And so it was really something I noticed in Berlin, and I felt like, oh, I want to be able to put this into my work here. Last time I played in Budapest, and we had a screen, so I could project visualizers. I created like these visuals so that it adds up to the whole experience. And sometimes I also feel like disappearing, and you just see all these things, and I feel like immediately it makes you just maybe feel yourself more in tune with what's going on. Yeah,
It's interesting to me sort of talking about almost not wanting to be the center of attention at your own show.
So I kind of understood this at quite a very young age. I was in France, and there I felt like the ego was very important. You had to pump and show off like that. But I had this understanding, and it came also through when I was doing my own research, like how to build my voice and write. And I found some documentaries, and one of them was this Nosra Fateh Ali Khan, this Pakistani master, and it was this like dedication to the arts, and you forget yourself because you serve the art. And that really made something like me change. And Stevie Wonder also says this a lot, that he's serving, says God, but serving music. And whenever you start thinking like that, you really cease to exist as a person. You're just like an energy that would allow things to happen. And then when I moved to Berlin in 2013, the experience there was to really destroy this ego physically. Because when I moved there, I had left what I created back in Paris, in France, and I started to. I started from scratch as Wayne Snow, and that was really good, very rewarding, because you're nobody. In times like this, we should remind people about that, because it's always about putting your ego here, whether it's in the socials or whatever. It's just selling these self, and it's troublesome. It's really bad, because I think this shouldn't be. We're here to serve. If it is music you're doing, you serve music. If you whatever painting, you just serve that art, and the self shouldn't be the center.
In terms of that music, you're kind of off on tour with the new album. Can you talk through what bringing that tour together has looked like?
I decided for this album to just do like a duo, and also stage-wise, I only have my mic, and I did that on purpose because I didn't want to be distracted by anything else. And as I told you, I want to have moments where I kind of disappear, just turn my back and I'm gone. And I also wanted to, it was the first time really where I'm like very focused on the visual aspect of like this experience of the whole album, because when I was, even the previous album, like when I start putting all the ideas together, like writing the music, I start with like my research by feeding my brain, myself with a lot of visuals. So I did some research on like surrealism, pictures like the opening track I did yesterday, and that opens the album. It's called Snow Dome, and this was this painting by Salvador Dali. I mean, when I heard the sound and we were like digging into it, that's what I immediately pictured, as things just melting and then losing the sense of time, where everything, like from the past, the present, and it kind of the projection you would do, just like melt. And then also I watched there's a Paprika, it's a crazy manga anime, and some other films. So I have all these like visuals, and I felt was quite important too during the writing process, to also allow people to see a little bit of what I had.
Yeah, the sort of the prompts and stuff that you had.
Yes. And it's taking more and more forms. Like the even the sounds I do, I see them more than I hear them. Immediately, as soon as I hear a sound, I see forms, and it's really interesting to see. I don't know where this would take me to, but I feel like it's kind of leading me to something.
That's why I wanted to ask you, because last night you talked about the past, present, and the future. Do you have a desire? Do you have somewhere you'd like to see this project go?
So this album is out. Good for him. I'm happy. But I feel like it allowed me technically to explore some ways of writing songs, and I want to continue exploring these ways. So the future for me is that it represents the consciousness, if you can, of the past and how you manage it in the present. This plus this equals the future for me.